Thank you for staying late, and I promise I won't waste your time. I moved to Texas 5 years ago from Indiana, and I've heard so much about the success of the program there, but I never saw it. In 2011, the legislature made the same promises I hear many of you making now. This is going to be a small program. It's going to prioritize those who aren't getting their needs met in public schools. And let me tell you, that is not how it works in reality. In the heart of Indianapolis, as someone who was part of the prioritized population, I couldn't find a private school that accepted vouchers. They don't want to participate in the program. My daughter was left with no choice, still in her F-rated middle school, which only declined as the program expanded. Despite what you're being told by those who stand to profit from the passage of vouchers, Indiana schools are closing left and right, and scores are lower than ever. Why are you following in the footsteps of bad policy? You know they're now working on bills to raise property taxes in Indiana. My Texas property taxes went up 21% this year. How much more are these ESAs going to cost me? $1 billion now, $3 billion next session, then $6 billion? I don't have it to give. My education costs went through the roof within 3 years of vouchers passing in Indiana. I spent thousands so my daughter could play sports in public schools, hundreds on book fees for public schools. Our district lost transportation services, we lost high-level AP classes, we lost our IB program, we lost foreign languages, and our facilities were crumbling. I was paying more and more for less and less. Where is the choice? How are you going to protect our Texas public schools as vouchers grow? Is what happened to my daughter now going to happen to my 2 sons? I don't see any protections for our Texas public schools in HB3. Is there a plan? Things are already terrible here, and if our schools decline the way they did in Indiana, there will be nothing left. If that isn't your intent, then I urge you to fix this bill before voting it out of committee. I still remember the names of all the Indiana legislators who sold out our schools. And if this bill passes, there will be millions of Texans who will remember your names. Don't let the fall of Texas public schools be your legacy. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, I have 3 things I'd like to talk about today, so I'll make it very quick. One is that a poll was published yesterday that was taken of Texans who are likely to vote in the midterms, and it just reads this way. Despite Governor Abbott's campaign in support of vouchers, only 50% of base Republicans support them. Vouchers are opposed by majorities of every major demographic group, including Hispanics and Black voters, and voters from every region of the state. Notably, 70% of public school parents oppose vouchers, and 85% report that $10,000 would not be enough for them to afford private school tuition for their child. That's first. Second, we heard a lot about different states and what they were doing. Well, some states, during their discussions like we're having right now, decided to kill their voucher bills. Illinois was not one of those. Instead, Illinois implemented a voucher system in Illinois, and a couple years later shut it down. And the reason that Illinois gave for shutting down its voucher program was as follows. Illinois discontinued its school voucher program known as Invest in Kids, primarily due to concerns about the program diverting public funds to private schools, a lack of accountability and oversight, and the perception that it has disproportionately benefited white students rather than the intended low-income population, leading to criticism from education groups and a push to prioritize funding for public schools instead. Now, my last comment is what Representative Hinojosa has been doing for the last several minutes, and that is asking people, their district, how much money would go. Well, I took Representative Theo Wilson's district, and I showed that all of the ISDs in your district are in the red, and you're going to lose another at least $3 million if this
Please
program
wrap up your
goes through.
testimony.
I'm done.
All right, thank you very much. All right.